Hey, I hope everybody's doing good out there today. What I'm going to be talking about here in this really short video is something that matters to all of us when it comes to the overall quality of our lives, and that is the sensations that we feel. Most specifically, what I'm talking about are positive and negative sensations. So our natural habit is to either cling to positive sensations. We'll try to extend that feeling of feeling really good, we're really happy, we're really excited. We'll try to extend this, make it longer. Or let's say that it stopped. We'll try to make it come back. We'll try to make ourselves feel happy again, feel joyful, feel excited, whatever it may be. On the opposite end, we try to avert negative sensations. So we'll try to stop them, to fight them. Let's say we're feeling anxiety. Let's say we're feeling sadness. Let's say we're feeling anger. A lot of times we'll try to suppress these emotions. We'll try to stop them, make them go away, because we don't obviously want to feel this way. It's a negative sensation. We feel bad, right? So we try to stop them and fight them. And what this does on either side, on either when we're clinging to positive sensations and when we're averting negative ones, is it creates an unbalanced mind. It creates misery. It creates stress in the body, in the mind. And this is based on Buddhist philosophy. And the idea there, then, is to change that habit. To change the habit of clinging and averting. And the good thing about habits is that they can be changed. They can be worked on. And the whole point then, the whole idea then, is to simply watch those sensations as they happen. So let's say, for example, you're applying for a position in your job. Let's say they opened up the position for anybody to apply, who already works at the company. Anybody can apply if they want this position. So you apply, you feel very good that you can succeed, and that you're qualified for it, and that you're the right person for the job. So you go ahead and you apply. Well, a couple weeks later, you come back, it's the morning, and they announce that they figured out who they want to choose. They've chosen somebody. Turns out it's not you, but it's your coworker, someone that you work with a lot, someone that hasn't been at the company as long as you, somebody who you think that isn't as qualified and as good as you are. You feel that you are the better person for the job. And then these negative thoughts, these negative emotions start to come out. Well, how come I didn't get chosen? Why did that person get chosen? They haven't been here as long as I have. I've been working my butt off for this, and so on and so on. All this does is it creates stress. All this does is it creates misery and an unbalanced mind. So the whole point then is to simply watch those sensations, is to watch those emotions, have a bit of detachment from them. And I'll get into that in a second. On the opposite end, let's say you went on vacation somewhere. Say you went to a beach far, far away, or you went to the mountains. Let's say you're an outdoor person and you went to the mountains and you went skiing, or let's say you just wanted to be on top of a mountain somewhere and you just love the views and whatnot. When you're there, you feel very relaxed. You're not dealing with the day-to-day stresses. You're not dealing with the stuff that you do when you're at work or when you're at home with your kids, whatever it may be, with school. You're not dealing with that. You're away. You're on a tropical island. You're on the top of a mountain somewhere. You're having a good time. Great. You feel good. You come back to the real world, to the day-to-day. This feeling, this positivity, it may stay for a couple days. It may stay for a couple hours, or it may just end right then and there as soon as you get back into the real world. And that's when we start to cling to the positivity. Well, why am I not feeling like this anymore? I felt so good when I was at the beach. I need to just go ahead and move to the beach. I need to go ahead and move to the mountains so I can feel like that all the time. That again there is only going to create stress, is only going to create misery, is only going to make your mind unbalanced. So the idea then is to neither cling nor avert sensations. You simply want to watch them. So let's say a negative sensation happens. A negative sensation comes in the body. You start to feel anxious. Your heart starts racing. Let's say you're feeling nervous about something, right? the mind starts to chatter, it starts to do its thing. What you want to do is to automatically, in that instant, become mindful of that. In that instant, you must become mindful. It's not enough to say, yeah, I'm being anxious. Or yeah, I know I'm being angry. You have to become mindful of what your mind is doing. You have to notice that the thoughts are starting to run, that the emotions are starting to come on strong. And you want to become mindful of this. As soon as you notice what your mind is doing, more often than not, it's going to quiet down. If it doesn't, continue to watch the thoughts. You've noticed it, you notice what the mind is doing, the negative thoughts are starting to happen, or let's say the clinging to positive sensations is starting to happen. You've noticed it. Watch the thoughts. They'll come to a point where they'll stop. The mind will start to quiet down because you've noticed it. You notice what it's doing. So at that point, what you want to do is you want to notice the sensations within the body. Maybe you'll feel an increased heart rate, tension in the chest. Maybe you'll feel an increased temperature, right? You'll start to feel a little hot, right? Or you'll start to feel that your breath is maybe getting deeper or shallower, and increased breath, whatever it may be. You want to notice these sensations, notice it in the body, and simply watch it. If all you do when a negative sensation comes up is you try to fight it, you try to stop it, you try to suppress it, all you're doing is you're kicking it down into that unconscious level. As we all know, the mind, there's a conscious and there's an unconscious mind. All you're doing when you're suppressing it is you're suppressing those emotions and those thoughts, and when you're fighting them, you're putting them into the subconscious mind. What does it do then? Is that it comes back sometime later as anger, as stress, as misery, as some sort of misery, some sort of stress, some sort of unhappiness and unbalance in your mind. So you simply want to watch these things. Why would we want to do this? Well, if you're like me and you like to feel better, then yeah, you want to do this. And you'll get to the point where you'll start to feel more calm. As you do this, you'll start to feel more calm, more balanced on a day-to-day basis. You'll be better equipped to deal with the things that happen in life. Now, I'm not saying that you should, let people, if somebody gets a position and you don't get it, that you should just be okay with it. No, you should have goals, you should work towards them, but ultimately you also understand that some things will happen in your desire, the way that you want them to happen, but you also need to understand that sometimes things will happen in a way that you may not have wanted them to happen. And I'm also not here to say that you shouldn't have fun with positive sensations when you feel really good. You should, but you also understand, you get to that point, you grow wiser where you understand that everything, because of nature, everything has a beginning and an end. Everything must come to an end. The positive sensations and negative sensations, everything has a beginning and an end. And there's no point in clinging to how great I feel right now, because it's going to come to an end. It must. It has to. What I'm going to do instead is I'm simply going to have more fun with it, right? I'm going to make it as best as I can make it while it's here, because I know that it too must come to an end, but I will not cling to it. There's no point, because all that does is it's going to create misery and it's going to create stress in the mind and in the body. The more you do this, the more you simply watch the clinging, watch the averting, watch when you're trying to fight negative things or cling to positive things. The more you do this, you'll notice how quickly you'll reach a point of balance, how quickly you'll reach a point of peace in the mind and throughout the entire body, because you'll get better at doing this. Think of this as mental health. It's like mental fitness, right? Think of it like physical fitness. You go to the gym, it takes time. It takes time to get into shape. But the more you do it, the more you continue to go on at it and keep going forward, the more in shape you're going to get. Same thing here. The more you work on this, the more you simply start to detach yourself and not allow these emotions to take control and these thoughts to take control, the better you'll become. And the more balance and peace and calm you will feel at all times. Thanks.